Uh, Now to how the game will be run. Uh, I did some changes, but like they are vanilla changes. Don't worry, I'm not making anything homebrew. Uh, I am just saying, just some roles will be done a little bit different, just to add either realism or anxiety to the game. uh, for example, insight checks will be done by me and only me, and I will never tell you guys what was your role. So, for example, if I if I have butterfly character here, and he thinks an NPC is lying to them, but he's not sure, and he rolls an insight check. The one that actually is doing the rolling will be me. I will do the rolling hidden from you guys. Nobody will see the number. And and I hear, oh, he has a +4 to insight, so I will roll a 1d20 +4 hidden, and I will tell him something like, I will simply say, you believe this person is telling the truth, or you think this person is evil, so you will never know if you roll a good number and is right about your opinion about the person, or if you roll a bad one and is totally messing things up. And even more, imagine all of you guys are doing the same insight check to the same person, and two of you say think the person is lying, and three of you think the person is telling the truth. Who's right? Who's wrong? It's up for you guys to decide. Uh, and I do that to avoid the accidental and sometimes intentional metagaming that can happen, and to give a more realistic atmosphere because it's only your opinion about the person. And we never know if our opinion matched reality perfectly. Once none of us are omniscient, for example, and neither are our characters. And something similar will happen with passive perception. So if something is hiding from you guys, and their role is bigger than all your passive perception, I won't say make sure give any tip that something is hidden. Uh, uh, it's like there's nobody, and so if there's a trap or anything, and none of you guys notice, you guys will fall for the trap. Uh, uh, and if some of you detect whatever it is, and some of you don't, because there is an NPC and two characters that have a passive perception of 12, and the rest is passive perception of 13. So imagine whoever is trying to hide rolls a 12, they will hide from the other two, from the NPC and the two players, but not from the rest. In those case scenarios, I will send a DM, not a DM, sorry. I will send a message on the private channel telling you, you know, you notice somebody is watching you, or you feel like somebody's watching you, or it will be more descriptive, as in, uh, uh, do you think there's somebody hiding in the bushes or something like that? Uh, but only to the people that notice it. It's up for you to reveal that to the others or not. Uh, which adds roleplay possibilities, of course. Uh, and and similar, we'll go to perception checks. You guys roll to perceive something, and some of you pass the test and some of you don't. I will inform the ones that pass it through private panels, and other ones that didn't. And it's up to you to inform the others not. And of course, when nobody passes, nobody's will have the information. And and I also ask, when you do the perception check, do not do the perception check on the beyond, because as we can see, it either is visible to everyone or not visible for me. So do that on your private channel. So for example, let's say Karina. Let's say Karina is trying to do the perception check. Uh, as you can tell, the perception check is on the skill box. This box is below intelligence, wisdom, and And perception is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Is the 12th line is perception. It's about wisdom, and it has +3. So you roll a 1d20 +3 whenever you need to do a perception check. Uh, on on this card, on your private channel. Uh, uh, so it's not rocket science. You guys, I believe you guys will be okay with that. And when you do the rolling, because I will be talking to everyone, not giving a tip. I'm trying not to give clues to anyone. So, for example, you want to roll an insight check or you want to roll a perception check. I will do it for you, but not now I will roll Lena's Jonas perception to see to get insight to see if she notices if someone's lying or not, if she thinks someone's lying or not. And I ask you, Jenna, to roll the perception check. No, I want you guys to simply I want to roll the perception check. Simply roll that on your private channel, and maybe give me a tip of what you're trying to perceive. As in, you're walking on a road. I try to perceive it if up ahead in the road there is enemies or not, and or something. Try to specify what you are trying to perceive, and I will keep doing the DMing for everyone without giving any tips that I saw your message. But I probably saw it, and if I don't answer, it's because you didn't pass the roll, so you don't notice anything out of the ordinary. Or the situation. If you notice something, then I will type an answer. So just so you're clear, if you don't receive an answer, you didn't see anything. If you receive an answer, it's explain what you saw. And the inside checks I will do myself, hidden, so you guys won't see it. Another dice roll that is there are the death saving throws. I ask you guys to roll that whenever it's come to this. I hope it never comes to this, but do that privately on the private channel. If you, for example, Butterfly again, just because the character sheet is easier to access. He has where's that saving throws? Love don't fight stuff. If anyone knows where the saving throw for death saving throw is, please tell me.
You were looking for death saves?
Yes.
So death saves on D&D Beyond, it's when you go down to 0. They only pop up when you go down to 0 HP.
Okay, so I
And then
will
when you
try.
oh, go ahead.
I will change our health Butterfly to 0 just temporarily, just to see. Okay, and it will show the text. And I okay, it doesn't say what will be the plus or minus. It's a flat d20. It's always a d20.
Mm.
Just to be sure, is always a flat d20, or depending of the character, it can have a +1, +1, +2, something like that. Hello?
Yes.
Are you guys listening to me? Okay. So it always a 20, thank you. So just roll a flat 20 on the private channel, and it will give you an answer. If it's 10 or below, no, if it's below 10, it's a failure. If it's 10 or above, it's a success. But you cannot tell the others what your was. Only you will know it. And just so the others the others might metagame accidentally, because if you're dying, they'll do everything to kill you. But if you're okay, they will wait to heal you later. So, uh, so in order to be a little bit more realistic, they don't know how you're doing, if you're dying or not. You roll privately and you do not tell anyone. And the others choose if they try to heal you now or later. And 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 for those who don't know, if you get to 0 hit points, you have to roll death saving throws, and it determines if your character is about to die or not. If you have 3 successes, you're good. No, I think it's 3 successes. If you have 3 failures, you're dead. A natural 20 means you have 2 successes. A natural 1 means you have 2 failures. But if someone tries to do the medicine check on you, they can stabilize you. And if somebody magically heals you, you're up again. You're alive. And besides that, I want to make it clear that for today, I will trust all your rolls. So I will ask you either to roll, I will be able to see, and everybody will be able to see, or nobody will be able to see, including me. But whatever you decide, I trust you. If you say you roll at 17, I will trust you. And you can that will be on D&D Beyond, except the ones that I said I will do myself, or for you guys to do on Discord. And I ask you all to pay attention to those rolls. For example, every time I do an attack is 1d20 plus 1. So remember that, because next session and the others, I will ask all the rolls to be done on Discord, because you guys will be already used to that. And so remember the plus or minus bonuses that you guys have. And remember the damage that your weapons do, for example, or that your spells do, for example. And and that's it. There's no for this session I will trust. For next sessions, it will always be on Discord. And as you can tell, the first message from the group game is, if I don't use a map, the dice will be rolled here from the session 2 onwards. So, unless it's a private roll, such as death saves, perceptions checks, or if it's me rolling inside, anything except those will be here on this group channel.
Just a question.
Yes?
Because you said on the insight and perception, I think investigation also counts under that. Does it? Because investigation is kind of like perception.
Interesting. That's a good idea. I didn't think of that. Such as, for example, you don't know what you're rolling, but you know you found something. You don't know if you roll very well, and that's why you found something, or if there's something else you do. Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I like this. So I will even write investigation and insight checks will be done by me secretly. I better specify all investigations insight checks will be done by me secretly, and perception checks will be done on the private channels. Okay. Anyone has an edition like this great edition? Or any questions or anything?
No. I don't have any questions.
Nope.
Okay, everybody's good.
I
I'm almost
have
ready.
one more question.
All
Can I
right.
have some time to go to the toilet?
Oh, yes, please do. 5 minute break, people.
Okay.
Alright.
Not a problem.
If anyone is not leaving the voice chat physically, we can chat just so anyone listening to the audio later doesn't feel like there's a 5 minutes gap with nobody talking.
Mhm.
So, how are you guys thinking about it? I know it's very slow so far because I'm still giving the explanation of how it works because there's even new players, so I need to be very over analytic about it. I'm sorry, but I believe from now on, because literally there is uh, 2 small paragraphs and 1 kind of small paragraph. So, after that, session 0 is over, and we can start the game. So everything will go faster after that. I'm sorry for all these lengthy explanations, but it's always important to have a session 0. And there's a lot of people sending stuff on general. Yes, being a noob will be hard. Yes. No. Sorry, I said yes automatically. It. I hope I will make it as easy as possible. Uh,
Probably gonna need help.
Sorry.
Probably gonna need help.
Yeah, I will do my best to help you. And if I can't, Kranos will do his best to help you. And oh, by the way, my mouth is super dry. Let me do a huge gulp of water.
I'm back, by the way.
Okay, is everyone back? Is anyone not here? Actually, it's this question: is anyone not here? Is anyone here? I mean, is everyone here? Butterfly, are you here? And Karina, are you here?
Yeah.
Anas, are you here?
Rip.
Jenna, are you? Well, you
Yeah.
just said you're here. Nixie, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay, just to be sure, Kranos, you are muted. So if you reply, I would like to. I would like please ask you to repeat the reply without muting yourself.
Oh, I'm here.
Okay, so everybody's here. I will just finish because I'm writing the end of Session 0. And after that, we can start the game finally. I want to point out, because some of you are new players, that you guys are a party and you should work together as a group for the fun of the whole group, always, okay? So please have that in mind all the time and try to make your character, their backstory, and yourselves work with this idea. So let's say you are a very self-centered character and it struggles with working together in a campaign, but you can develop the character like we spoke before as about character growth. Develop the character so the character becomes more open with group work, etc. Every time trying to make your PCs working together. PCs is player character, so Karina is Chaos player character, for example. So as we discussed in the forbidden topics, there's no PvP, no stealing from each other, and I want this to reflect on how much you guys work together, on how much you guys support each other, etc. in game. I'm not saying that you guys need to be a huge family from the start and act like you literally love each other like a polyamorous relationship. No, it doesn't need to happen like that. But try to be very open about working together and develop your character into being a good team worker. Okay. And saying that, I ask you guys to avoid splitting the party because, for example, imagine Butterfly and Karina decide to go to one direction to investigate something, and Kranos, Jana, and Nixie decide to stay here to do something else, and then I have to narrate both groups separately. And like when I'm narrating Butterfly and Karina, Kranos, Jana, and Nixie will be waiting, doing nothing. And while I narrate Kranos, Jana, and Nixie, Butterfly and Karina will be waiting, doing nothing. So let's stay together so the action is always with you guys, okay?
Got you.
Sounds good.
And finally, is there anything else any of you want to bring to this that you think is important or at least worth mentioning? After that, in the brief and information, two informations, I will start session 1. Okay. Does anyone have anything to bring to the table? As in something I forgot that's important to be on session 0, for example. Okay, that's a no. And I'll just do the first announcement. I would also like to point out that even though I played for many years 5e, and played more than 1 year 3.5e, 2 different D&D editions, I have never DM'd. Only GM'd, and even when I GM'd, it was homebrew systems. This is my first time actually grabbing a book, the D&D books, learning from it, and DMing. My best so far was learning to GM Shadowrun and Shadowrun 6e and Savage Worlds, but neither of those I got a chance to do GM yet. Because either my players gave up, like on Shadowrun 6e, or my players are still currently making their character sheets for Savage Worlds. And if you're watching this video, I will post the Savage World campaign as well. It's on a Battlestar Galactic universe. So be prepared for the noobest of the noob DMs, because I will be a disaster, especially on combat, as Foxy already knows and is a little bit aware. I might make encounters too difficult, then realize in the middle of the combat, then try to adjust mid-fight. But I will accidentally overdo it, and then you guys will be winning easy. Then I have to buff them up again a little, but it's already too late. The combat is over. So etc. Things like that can happen. As we progress in the game, I hope I will get a hang of how much you guys can take and make better combats. But be aware that the combats will be complicated in the beginning. I will try to not kill any of you. And I will literally do my best to not kill any of you. And I will also try to not be my best so it's not boring combats, like, you're finishing one round or something. So that said, I will just make a last announcement, and then we will start session 1, okay? And we discussed about boundaries, and we discussed about a lot of stuff. The first 4 topics of the forbidden topics are topics I made, and so they will remain. Doesn't matter. But let's say, for example, let's say you guys arrived in a tavern, okay? And it's in the middle of the afternoon. You guys sit at a table, ask for food, and I will use your character example, Jana, but don't feel attacked or anything. Let's say Jana thinks the waiter or the waitress is super hot, and she wants to get up after the waiter or waitress serve the food and go after said worker to flirt with them. Nobody here would be interested in spending 15, 30, maybe 1 hour waiting, just listening to Jonah exchanging flirts with an NPC. So I would simply cut, and let's say you guys are going to make after the tavern, you're going to talk to the mayor about something, and then you guys will go to sleep. Okay? So I will cut straight to the point you guys are going to go to talk to the mayor, unless you have anything important to discuss on the table, on the tavern. And let's say Jonah's character doesn't do much in this conversation with you. Let's say Karina has the biggest charisma, so she does almost all the talking, and Jonah only reiterates one or other thing with the rest of the party. So there's no really like this scene does not depend on Jonah, okay? And after the session, Jonah tells me, "Hey, I really like to roleplay that flirting period moment with the NPC. Can I do that with you privately or something? I'm more than open to do so. Of course, respecting my boundaries, such as arachnophobia, explicit adult scenes, people forcing adult stuff on others, torture of kids, and yours boundaries, such as PvP, PCs from PCs and crew PCs. So those boundaries will be respected. But because we are not playing with the others, the other boundaries are not that significant of being followed, but they can still follow if I and the player in question wants to. So we can really play whatever flirts happen, and even if there's more than flirts, like I don't know if they end up kissing or end up having sleep together, but I will not do the explicit scene, of course. This can happen, and I will. This can happen off session, just on those one-on-one sessions, but only if you guys want to. And let's say Jonah and the NPC just exchange some kisses. It's very quick, and we end the role play like that. I don't change the story at all. She goes back to the table, and then the whole group goes to the mayor. But let's say she actually the situation gets spicy, and she and the NPCs end up sleeping together, for example. It's technically hard to sleep together and in a short period of time, and later go to talk to the mayor. But because Jonah was not that significant in the scene with the mayor, I can simply say, "Oh, let's retcon that. She never went with the rest of the group to the mayor, and nothing changed from that. The mayor conversation doesn't change. Nothing changes, but just this detail changes." And sometimes, of course, say she was away talking to the NPC for 15 minutes only, but doing the role play on one-on-one, the role play takes 2 hours. I'm willing to say no. That's 15 minutes. Doesn't matter. I'm willing to ignore the time discrepancies. But if you do much more than like going on a date or sleeping the character, etc., then I will consider that as a long time spent on the action. So anything that you did on the session afterwards, that did not have an impactful thing from you on this thing. I would just say, "Oh, so you weren't there," something like that, but nothing changes. If you had an impactful presence in this scene, for example, instead of Arena being the charisma character, it was Jonah. Jonah did most talking. Then I can't allow it because it would make things not make sense. And I'm not talking only about flirting. Let's say it's nighttime, but Butterfly wants to get out of his room on the tavern and explore the city at night. Maybe go to the forest, hunt an animal. I don't know, something silly, but something he does alone that can take a lot of time, and it will bore the others to just sit there and listen to it nonstop. So I would do that. I can do that on role playings afterwards.